Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Wanderhome, guarded by Firelight.
So cozy, so wholesome.
A little bit different, eh? Really excited for us to play this game over a lunchtime break. Hello in the chat to Euphoria. Welcome on in.
Yo.
Yeah, there's the two of us who are going to be playing Wanderhome by J Dragon over the next hour, and we're going to tell a cozy story. Hopefully, we're not going to cry, but you never know when we're playing a game like Wanderhome. If you haven't played Wanderhome before, it is a cozy pastoral game in which you play as anthropomorphic animal folk. You're trying to find a way home, whether that's physical or metaphorical, and that's what we're going to try and achieve over the next 55 minutes, and then again next week. So this week is just myself and Khalil. Rachel was hoping to be here but is unable to. It's just the two of us.
I
Khalil, how
think
are
there
you
might have been a
doing?
couple of crossed wires here, Sam, because I came hoping for a gritty bloodbath superhero, but like bare knuckle, the boys style, like knockdown,
Oh,
tear out. But I think I can adapt my character to a cozy pastoral wander home
okay.
story.
Well, I'm glad that you're all good with that tone shift. And I'm sorry to have brought you in under a false sense of security.
Honestly, I
Um,
should have read the PDF.
yeah, I sent a lot of detail. Um, So, if you've never played this game before, the mechanics are fairly loose, but there's so much room, world building and storytelling. Um, and our game our story is going to open up at an unremarkable farm. It is the first day of autumn, and dawn has just broke. And for our two characters, that's usually the end of the day as we arrive at the bottom of this dusty brown dirt road, the farm. Khalil, what do people see as you come in?
um, so if you were, let's say that the viewer character or the camera is somewhere near the edge of this kind of farm, looking out uh, as the kind of the horizon starts to lighten with those like lovely little peachy pinky colors of dawn. Um, you would hear a kind of shuffling with a rhythmic thud attached, because um, first thing that you'd see coming out of the pre-dawn gloom would be a little mote of kind of greenish yellow light, kind of flashing on and off in a kind of rhythmic pattern and bobbing and weaving through the air. And partly the face illuminated by that, and partly, the shape coming out of the gloom. You see reasonably large in terms of tall and in terms of their skeletal structure, um, but not necessarily super built. A large badger person, um, and he has his eyes not fixed on where he's going, but fixed on the firefly. Um, he's wearing um, a kind of wide brimmed, kind of tattered brown, not tattered, but like battered brown hat. Um, Holds a kind of large, kind of person height walking stick, kind of gnarled wooden walking stick that looks very sturdy, and um, and is wearing a is wearing a stained floral sundress. Kind of, you can tell that it's been worn for a long time on the road. Um, as as you get a bit closer, you can see that the familiar black and white of a badger. Most of the black is grey, so it's kind of a low contrast version of a badger. Um, and despite the walking stick and the somewhat, I wouldn't say emaciated, but the not very full figure, um, walking with some decent purpose. Although that purpose seems to be focused on this firefly.
And wandering at a much more slow pace behind you is Dorran, a elderly tortoise. So a faded green carapace and shell, chips on this shell showing the age, with a kind of brown outline to the edge of the shell on the back. I wear a pair of really quite thick spectacles on the front of my face.
Question:
Mhm.
Where do the arms of the spectacles go?
So I
Is it
wear
like a wraparound job?
yeah, I think I wear like a strap all the way around because as
Mhm.
a tortoise I don't have external visible ears. Well, they're visible, but they're not like
You
ears
don't have
that
the
humans
pinner,
would. I don't have the pinner
the
that.
flappy bit.
Um, and I am wearing a kind of a mottled brown cloak that comes right over the back of the shell and round my front. Alongside which I'm carrying a satchel and small lantern, the light of which is dimming as the sun rises. Dorran is using the moth tinder. Um, and I'm this character that used to be a vibrant traveller, moved with a steady purpose, but age has now taken its toll on him. And his eyes are dimmed and struggling with the changes in light. I'm not a creature that would regularly or normally have spent a lot of time wandering through the night, but recently, alongside my friend here, been spending more time wandering in the darkness. It's a nice
And
time seeing the moths.
by contrast, I'm not someone who is used to spending much time out in the daylight. As a badger, I'm primarily nocturnal. So as the light starts to kind of slowly grow in the sky and illuminate the world, I kind of pull the hat down a little bit to shade my eyes, still looking at this firefly. But as the firefly starts to sense that the sun is coming up, just like those that you're carrying, it starts to dim and eventually kind of flies back and returns and kind of rests somewhere on the brim of the hat. And as soon as the firefly is out of my line of sight, as soon as it passes the brim of the hat, you see that purpose and that poise completely leave me. And suddenly I'm a lost, confused old man. And I'm. And I turn around to you and I say, where are we? Where are we going again?
Well, my friend Polaris is the one that's guiding the way, and wherever they go, we follow.
Polaris is gone, though. I
They'll
could
be
see
back.
them, and then I couldn't see them, and it's happened again, hasn't it?
They'll be back this evening. Perhaps we should make our way to the farmhouse and see if there's perhaps some breakfast or supper. I'm sure there'll be a warm meal from anyone there.
Yes, let's find a good cozy set, and yes, just like the old days. And
How would you like me to refer to you to these new people?
well, by my name, that we all know, that I definitely remember. um, uh, oh, just my friend will do.
That's the truth.
And like the ghost of a little smile pricks the corner of the mouth.
As we wander up this dirt path, Dorran will stop for a moment and place like a hand on his post, and we'll just say a quiet little prayer. To some forgotten small gods, gods of the road, which are small little ants that guide the way, who I haven't seen in a long time, but who always brought me comfort when I could see them working together to fulfill the task, even though I can never clearly see what it was they were trying to do. And I'm going to take a token. I like talking to the gods, as Dorran.
I mean, that is... Are we doubling up tokens? Because that is also taking a moment to watch a tiny moment of beauty and describe it.
Well, you could describe what you see if you like, as you watch me do that.
So as you kind of take this moment to commune with the smaller beings around us, at first I don't really realize what's going on, and I kind of just pause a sec to lean on my walking stick and try to wrangle my thoughts into a coherent understanding of where we are, what we're doing, where we're going, what's going on. And then I see the amount of focus that Dorran is putting into this moment, then how present you are. And that kind of draws me in. And the first thing you realize is that you feel the presence of this kind of like big badger head just kind of slowly kind of coming into your peripheral vision until I'm kind of, you know, just as intently, like almost nose to ant, but not quite. And I see them leading each other through their pheromone trails and their kind of, you know, their communal kind of communication and teamwork that they do. And it reminds me of someone. It's on the tip of my tongue. I swear I was just with that person. Someone that guides me. I mean, this person beside me will do. My friend.
These small creatures, whilst gods of the land, are friends, family, and amongst everything else, just incredibly strong. And that has always filled my heart with joy to see them working so closely together. And time that we've spent on the road has made me reflect on that a lot. Now, I don't know who you are. I don't know where we're going. But just like the ants, I feel like we have a purpose. And that small little star in your hat's guiding the way.
Is this Dorran saying this, or is this Sam saying this?
This is Dorran saying this out loud to you.
I wish I had any of the answers that would help to fill in any of those gaps. But I know I know everything's clearer when Polaris is out. And I know that... Oh, that's their name! I remembered! And I clap you on the shell. And you're... Dorran... Dorothy. Yes, my friend. I like I said, things make more sense with friends.
And Dorran won't and we'll just leave it at that and smile. And as you say that, there was just a call from further up the road. Someone calling out, hey, want to help out? Who do we see up the road?
We see a hedgehog person. It is a hedgehog person who is probably about 2/3 the height of me and about 3/4 the height of Dorran. And they are standing on the porch of a kind of prairie style farmhouse that's kind of down a lane. And they are wearing, I don't want to be a cliche, but they're wearing dungarees.
You have to be wearing dungarees, right?
But like the straps are kind of threaded through their bristles at the back. It's all back flap. And they're saying, "Hey, want to help out? You
Oh,
look like you could use a place to rest.
uh,
We've got warm and dry barn. We've got food."
well met, my friend. Absolutely, warm food's a place to rest. Would be welcome. What can we help with?
Well, it's getting towards autumn. You see like a brown leaf flutter down on the wind.
A swallow flying south.
Yeah. South, yeah. It's getting towards autumn, and the house is fine in the summer, but we're gonna need to make a real big pile of leaves over this house to make it nice and cozy for the winter. It's partly a practicality thing. We could do some other insulation, but it's kind of it's a tradition thing. It helps reconnect us with our hedgehog roots.
Well, if you've got a rake, then I'm happy to help.
Oh, sure, yeah, we've got rakes, we've got nets, we've got bags. We just don't have enough people here. Since the last time my kids went to town to learn acrobatics,
Oh.
which honestly I can't wait to see what they're learning, because they were always good at forward rolls.
Getting
So
back up
they can
again
just like turn that tuck into something more spectacular, express themselves. I'm happy for them. But it does make, chores around the farm a little bit more difficult.
Well, let's help. My friend here is in need of a rest. Would you mind if they perhaps took a seat somewhere? I'll happily help. But it's been a long night.
Oh, I can. I can help. What are we doing?
We're gonna clear up some of these leaves. Big old pile.
Oh, yes, of course. I look. Many pores make light work, so I don't, I don't want to just be some dead weight. I'm going to pitch in.
Well, where can we find your tools then, and we'll get started right away.
Oh, well, the tools are just in the barn, just over there. And the best place to get leaves, you see that coppice up on the hill? Uh, there should be loads of deadfall in there by now. And there's like a small wooded area just kind of above one of the fields. There's like a field and then a small gentle hill and the wooded area there. And you can see that a lot of the trees there, because they're quite exposed, have lost a lot of their leaves already, and they've dropped to the ground.
Well, we'll go and collect our tools and be on our way, and hopefully we'll get a big old pile for you.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. I'll get some food on. Any dietary requirements?
Uh, no, not for me. I something fibrous. Keep my gut healthy. You know, get to my age, then you need to look after your gut.
Yes, what my friend said. Nothing too crunchy either. I don't chew as well as I used to. Oh, no problem. I've got just the thing. See you in a bit.
As they wander away, I'll also just say, have you heard the news?
Oh, you're a tender. Always nice to get some news out here. We don't get that much traffic being so remote.
Seems like we're in for slightly warmer autumn. Tales on the road say that cold snap's not going to come quite so quickly this year.
Ooh, wow. That is a real relief, especially with not as many bodies in the house to keep it warm. Thank you, Tender. I appreciate you and what you do.
Thank you. And we'll head off towards the barn, unless there's anything that my friend wants to do.
No. Yeah, we head off towards the barn. As we get to the barn and Dorran starts kind of getting a rake and a bag and stuff, the badger is just like, what are we doing again?
Well, we will get to these leaves, but I think, and I will take the lantern out, place it on the floor inside the barn, a little dark. Close the shutters on the windows and where the large door is, and open the little door on the lantern, and allow the fireflies to fly out. Watch as they move to the ceiling of this barn.
Seeing all these fireflies kind of swirling around, you do see my eyes light up, and a kind of a bit of that focus come in. It's less that kind of determined directional focus that you had when I was just following Polaris, that one that lives on my hat, but seeing the pattern of their movement and the way that they're communicating with each other, I think helps to frame something in my head. Sorry, my friend. Yes, let's get to helping this farmer, and then we can get some rest. I mean, I know I've had a long night. I can't imagine what it must be like for you. You know, you're not used to, snuffling around in the dark, and I heard from a couple of resonant noises that. Did you take a couple of tumbles? I apologize for my blinkered focus when Polaris is out. It's hard to think of anything else.
No, you don't need to worry about me, but I am just like quietly like rubbing my knee or my brittle bone, sort of like taking a tumble in the evening, but I don't want to raise anything around it. I'm perfectly fine.
Do you need a hand? I pull out like a pot of like comfrey ointment. That's comfrey the plant, Comfrey.
This is a wholesome stream.
Yes.
We'll keep it that way. That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Yes, I remember someone used. The smell reminds me of someone rubbing it on bruises and things I used to have. I must have been a cub.
That's quite a long time ago now, isn't it, my friend?
I assume so. And I'm gonna rub some comfrey ointment into some of those bruises. So you get a token for accepting some help.
Amazing.
From me.
Do you have any tokens right now?
I have one from communing with the ants.
As this conversation takes place and you pass over the comfrey and the fireflies are on the ceiling. I think that at this moment Polaris lights up and floats up as well.
They're the same as all their siblings, but somehow different, somehow unique. Huh.
And as you say unique, we hear a voice from the rafters as a small bat, like a young boy, hanging from his feet, says, "That's the mountain. They're showing us the mountain. Look at the shapes."
Oh, like a constellation.
That's a very big word for. What does that mean?
Oh, sorry, young fella. I didn't mean to. We didn't mean to disturb you. Are you trying to have a nap?
No, I'm just hanging around.
I see. Well, constellation is you and I are nocturnal folks. You've seen your fair share of stars, am I right?
And I do enjoy the night sky.
See, people think bats are blind, but really, most of them have perfectly serviceable vision. It's just that they prefer to navigate through hearing.
I didn't know that.
I keep forgetting how good their ears are. So, have you ever looked up at the stars and seen shapes, seen faces, seen animals, seen mountains?
He looks at the stars or the fireflies and says, "Every night I will stop and ask, will these stars be my friends?" And seen one or two of them dance. And as he says that, the fireflies start to dance.
The wonderful thing about stars, my boy, is that they're always there for you. Even when the sun is out and it blinds your eyes and the sky is this intense blue, the stars are right behind it. Just waiting.
Dorran will place a hand on your shoulder from behind, and the boy says, "A mountain. Is that where we're going? Is that where Polaris is taking us?"
And we look up at the dancing fireflies, and we see that the ones from your jar or container,
lantern,
your lantern, they are kind of like almost in a kind of like an inverted vortex, kind of like spiraling in a cone, and Polaris is kind of doing a dance where they kind of weave a route up and over this cone, and then they circle back around and they do the same route again, kind of like a really fancy version of a bee's waggle dance.
Wow, I didn't realize we'd be climbing mountains anytime soon. That's a big one.
Oh, my joints creak at the very thought. I wasn't aware my mountain climbing days were still upon us. Have I ever climbed a mountain?
I will, in this moment, pull up a hay bale and get you to sit down, spend a token to ease your pain.
Oh, thank you, Dorran.
You remembered my name.
Yes, I did, didn't I? Well, suppose it's that little fellow we have to thank. Oh, and of course, that little fellow.
Well, it seems like we're heading for the mountains.
Yes.
Do you feel like you can manage that?
Uh, honestly, I don't know. Um, but uh, like I said, everything makes a little bit more sense with a friend, so I guess we'll see. Uh, but first things first.
Rake some leaves.
Let's rake some leaves. And so as we then bid farewell to and good night to the bat that's roosting in the barn, and we open we open the doors of the barn that kind of send the fireflies back to bed. We go out, and as we get to the coppice of trees next to the field, we get there, and well, what? Why are we here? Where are we? What are we doing?
Remember, raking the leaves for that lovely hedgehog is going to provide us some supper.
Yes, of course, of course, yes, of course.
It's a tradition every autumn.
Do you need a hand?
Oh, you're welcome to have a seat on some of the boulders here if you'd prefer just to take some rest. That's absolutely fine.
Oh no, I can. I know what we're doing. I've done. This isn't my first pile of leaves. I'll have you know. And I immediately kind of start using my big kind of badger paws that are great for even digging through solid earth, but just kind of gathering this quite quickly, this huge pile of leaves. But then kind of occasionally kind of stopping or pausing mid gather and staring off into the distance. Or you occasionally hear, oh yes, leaves. Or what are we doing again?
You just take a seat, my friend. I'll finish this off.
Okay. And by the time I actually do take a seat, there is a reasonably sizable pile of leaves that I've contributed to our joint efforts, and B, you can see that I'm out of breath and that I have overexerted myself through not knowing my own limits, and I'm yes, yeah, good job well done. And I kind of curl up in the pile of leaves. And then maybe you kind of guide me to somewhere that's not the pile of leaves, maybe a nice kind of sturdy but softly rotten log. And I kind of sit down on it, and as I slump down, my frame just shrinks into this kind of.
You did a good job.
Huh? What?
You did a great job.
Oh, of course. What did I do?
With this pile of leaves.
Ah, splendid. It's a good pile of leaves. Well done. You did a good job. Yes.
You're on this kind of quite comfortable looking old log. And in that moment I remember that this place looks familiar. I come through here before. This kind of coppiced area with mossy boulders and this very old looking log that you're laid on. And remember that part of the reason they bring these leaf piles together is to celebrate Flower Goddess, part of the autumn harvest. And we'll say to my friend, have you ever seen the dance that the leaves do at this time of year? something miraculous to witness.
Dance.
Yeah, the
Leaves.
leaves. Or some even say that is her.
Who? Who's her?
The goddess of the flowers who comes to say goodbye as life begins to renew for another year.
I see. Yes. No. I must have, but no. Oh. I mean, I've seen autumn. I must have seen autumn. Autumn looks like this. Yes, leaves.
I will sit down next to you and take from in my pack. Looking at what it said. Take out from my packages a scroll. Now, this here was meant for a royal commander. I had this within my possessions for quite some time, but my journey has never taken me past his fortress. This is a magic scroll. Now, I'm not really accustomed to the magic of the land, but I do know some things, and I will move my, I'm gonna say paw, I don't have a paw, my daily
How does
hands.
one describe a tortoise's
Like,
appendage?
I would imagine kind of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've got like
Yeah.
got 3 big fingers. Yeah, like that. My hand across it. You'll see runes glow on the scroll, and then I'll look you in the eye and say, "Can we look at the clouds together?"
And as the runes glow, I kind of turn my face upwards, kind of unbidden, and as my eyes make contact with the bits of sky that you can see kind of between the kind of silhouetted fingers of these tree branches, and the pattern of that overlaid over the pattern of clouds behind it, as we get towards real proper morning, that's the beginning of daytime, so we can see the last bits of the colors of dawn bouncing off some of these clouds, but also the blue behind them. I will listen to the shared wisdom of many and small forgotten gods, and I will ask the table what they tell me as the light of dawn, the multicolored light of dawn, like glimmers off the cataracted eyes of this ancient, absent-minded badger.
Do you take a token if you're looking at the clouds after I asked that? And listening to ancient and forgotten gods, you'll start to watch as the clouds move, so do to the leaves that were once falling. They start to move up in a almost a bolero that'll move through the air. This is the flower goddess. But then you hear, strange, but the flapping of small wings as butterflies move through. And you recall that there is known to be a god of nectar that thanks the land and provides some form of sustenance, and always appeared as a butterfly. And as quickly as you hear it, it vanishes, as though we're moving from that time of plenty, summer, into a time of renewal again.
And so with the the flower goddess and the nectar god bidding farewell, is there another god that is saying hello?
There's a small clunk on the ground as an acorn drops.
What if it goes, hits me between the eyes, and then falls on the ground?
I think that's for you, my friend.
I turn to the oak tree. Thank you. It's a curious thing.
The bow seems to bow.
And it smells of autumn. It smells of that real beautiful combination of life and death, of change and constancy, of ending and beginning.
And with that, I will do the elderly man right push on my knees to stand up. And
do you need a hand?
No, don't you worry yourself. All change is lost in some way, my friend. You rest here. I will go and tell the good hedgehog that we've done the job, and perhaps I will return with some supper.
Thank you, my friend. And with the last bits of the magic from that scroll that allowed that moment of kind of divine communion and clarity, as that kind of seeps away, as my friend like goes off to the farmhouse, I'm once again on my own in the woods, sitting on a log, holding an acorn that a deity of autumn dropped on my head, and feeling that beautiful feeling of connection and communion, feeling it retreat away and be replaced by that feeling of disconnect and anxiety and that sort of panic at the retreating grasp on reality. And I start to get pretty anxious. And I'm there. Yes, right. Yes. Yes. Job well done. What are we doing again? You need a hand? Where'd that butterfly go? Huh. And just kind of muttering to myself. I pull the hat a bit lower as the light gets brighter from the daytime.
I knock on the front door of the farmhouse. And after a minute or two, the door will open and there the hedgehog will be again.
Oh hello, that was quick.
Well, I know we don't look like we're steady on our feet, but you know what they always say? Slow and steady.
Well, which one's slow, which one's steady, eh? Sorry. Just I don't get many visitors around here. Like to crack a little joke here and there.
My friend and I would love some supper if you have anything that's available.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a couple more minutes, just because I didn't think it'd be so fast, but that's my mistake. And they invite you in, and they're kind of, chattering away in that kind of, they're not necessarily like interrogating you, but it's that kind of like constant like pitter patter small talk. And they are preparing a combination of a kind of like a nettle soup which is actually delicious, and like a nettle soup, with kind of hot, kind of steaming, rich, earthy, and to accompany it, some like fried, assorted little invertebrates. So like, you know, it's not necessarily like all ants or like all crickets or something. It's like Bombay mix, but made out of bugs.
Exactly what I was thinking was Bombay.
Bug Bay mix. And
The kind of spice of the nettles.
yeah. It's like, so I hope this isn't too crunchy for your friend. I mean, they're crunchy, but they're not. You know, they'll go down easy.
I'm sure you'll handle it.
Where are you off to after this? Are you on your travels?
Well, as interesting as wandering the road is, I can't really answer that question. We've been following. My friend has been following a firefly. We don't know exactly where it's taking us.
Oh, charming. That must be lovely to just go where not where the wind takes you, where the firefly takes you. I guess if you're not careful, the wind will take the firefly.
Yeah, in my youth I would have felt the same, but the world feels different now.
Yes.
You see
Yeah.
so many younger, like myself, other moth tenders rushing here and there, and I don't feel I have that purpose and speed anymore. But
Well, messages don't have to be fast to be meaningful.
no, and indeed, like the slowest journeys do sometimes bring the deepest revelation.
Oh yeah, I've been telling my kids something along those lines for years.
Now they've run off to the circus. They've gone to find our
Yes.
story.
And I can't wait to see where that journey takes them. But yeah, hopefully it'll teach, well, the one who's gone to join the circus, so hopefully that will teach him a little bit of discipline and patience, because he always wants to be good at it immediately. He always wants to have the reward, but I'd keep telling him, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step.
Don't I know it?
The power, the coziest of piles starts with the first leaf.
Well, there is quite a pile up by the copper.
Thank you so much. I would I would offer you more, but I don't really have anything to thank you with apart from food and rest.
This is far more than one could hope for.
If you don't have any bedding, I can get you some and she brings out some kind of old blankets for us. Yeah. And there's plenty of hay in the barn. Oh, I think that there has been a little bat boy that's been occasionally roosting up in there. He thinks I don't know, but honestly, I'm just glad he has somewhere to stay.
He's harmless, very kind.
He seems sweet.
Yeah, very philosophical for a child.
Oh, maybe I should have a chat with him sometime.
I recommend it.
Every time I see him, he just kind of flutters off.
He likes fireflies.
Don't we all? They go really well with a little bit of horseradish.
Perhaps not in that way for me, but...
Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. Allegedly.
Can I ask one final question? In which direction would I find the nearest mountain?
Oh, of course, because you wouldn't have seen it from that direction. Honestly, actually, because the direction you came from, the hill with the trees is on the other side. Actually, as soon as you get through those trees, you'll see it. You can't miss it.
Well, your hospitality has been undeserved for me. Thank you.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. You've been lovely. You've been wonderful company. You've helped out. The hospitality would have been yours anyway, but it is definitely deserved. But if you're going to be going up that mountain, do take care. It's not known as the easiest of climbs, and your friend seems capable, but like they may have seen a fair few roads in their time. And also it's not very warm up there, and I don't mean to generalize or speak beyond my expertise, but aren't you
Well, I will reach into my bag. I've been looking for a reason to wear this. This feels like it might be the time. And I will pull a hand-knitted sweater out of my bag that is tied up with a little bit of string. Now this is meant for a wizard. And today I felt like I've experienced a little bit of magic myself, so perhaps it's meant for me. That'll keep me warm.
The
Don't you
wind
worry.
whispers, "You're a wizard, Dorran."
In any case, I must get back to my friend. I'm sure he's very hungry, but thank you again.
Well, the thanks is all yours as well. And enjoy your day, night, sleep.
I will leave and wander back up towards the coppice.
And the hedgehog goes back to kind of humming to themselves and kind of bustling about. As you get back to the coppice, you find me. I have found a fallen tree that has left a gap in the canopy here. And you find me in my kind of ragged and filthy floral sundress, with my big hat kind of more perched on the back of my head because I'm on all fours. And I'm kind of not vigorously, but kind of like digging a bit of a hole. And then I can lean back and kneel in front of it. Every single bone and joint creaking and cracking. It sounds like someone dropping a bag of dice down the stairs. And then straighten up. Well, I don't know where you came from, but seems time to give you a home. Well, thank you. Wish I knew your name. Wish I knew my name. Well, yes, good job. I'm gonna place it into the ground, firm the earth over, and as I do that, there is a kind of small aftershock of that magic that you kind of unlocked with that scroll and that connection with the autumn god. And this is, in terms of playbook, it's both giving away something I hold dear and it's leaving an offering to a god. And it's kind of stupid speaking my true feelings on the subject, acknowledging the fact that I'm aware of my loosened and loosening grip on the world. And you witness this moment of communion. My eyes shut, and I breathe out. Good job.
Well, friend, I've returned with some supper. Friend?
Nothing. serenity on the face. This most like gentle, almost imperceptible smile. You know, the one of kind of contentment rather than joy, one of satisfaction or peace.
Well, my friend, what a journey we've been on. It seems like yours ends here.
You see a very sleepy looking firefly kind of crawl to the edge of my hat and kind of, as much as someone can make eye contact with compound eyes, Polaris makes eye contact with you, the keeper.
Well, little one, where are we going next? And as I take this firefly into my care, I will cover you with leaves. Leave you with a very subtle but kind resting place. And I will pour some of the nettle supper into a small little carry, make my way through the coppice and see the mountain. And as I head into the road, I come across a small little cairn, at which I will take out of my pocket a small acorn that I picked up without you seeing, and just place it on the top. Rest well, my friend.
In that moment, you see, and it's not that it actually glows, but it kind of the color kind of jumps out at you in your mind's perception of your eyes. You see the moss and lichen growing on the stones in this cairn just emphasize their life in this place of passing.
Onto the mountain then, Polaris. Perhaps we'll find out my friend's real name along the way. And that's where we'll leave this Wanderhome story, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Khalil, for playing in that short little sweet story. I will be back next week, but sadly my friend will not.
There'll be a lovely oak tree filling up that space in the coppice that's very well fed. Thank you so much for having me on this, Sam. This is a really, really lovely way to tell a story.
It kind of keeps you grounded with the mechanics you have, but allows you to tell something really emotionally driven, and even in the short amount of time, I felt like, particularly this badger, we knew a lot about them, which was great.
It's funny finding out a lot about a character who doesn't know much about themselves.
Yeah. 100%. Folks, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining us in the chat. We are sorry that one of our characters didn't make it to the end. Do check out our channel tomorrow, because we'll be back with something a little bit more upbeat. From 12:30 tomorrow at UK time, we'll have the first of our Moment of Awesome streams, where I sit down with Rara from the Hearts of Dungeon to talk about who they are, what they do, and why they're awesome. But in the meantime, thank you again, take care, and we'll see you all again very soon. Goodbye. Bye.